Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, February the 23rd. We are here to look back over a Premier League weekend, which finished about 40 minutes ago. Before we get stuck into the Champions League, 8 more games, the second legs of the playoffs. 4 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire, it looks freshly shorn again, is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, what's happening?
Very observant. I have indeed shaved my head, shaved my face, looking very clean, sharp.
Sharp? Your picks razor sharp?
They weren't at the weekend, but
what you're sucking on? You've turned up sucking something, Barry, and I'm not sure. What is it?
Some sort of menthol, Jakeman's menthol sweet. I've got a bit of a tickly cough, bad throat, all of that sort of stuff.
Okay.
This won't help. None of it.
No, it's a load of shite in it.
What a myth, isn't it?
That really is an app, yeah. That's a Swiss,
kind
Barry.
Of throat lozenges or menthol stuff like that. It's just a myth.
Complete nut of Swiss. I completely agree with you. It's a bit of an underwhelming, sort of mildly annoying weekend of Premier League football all over the place, wasn't it? I mean, tonight, Everton Man United came in a nutshell. That kind of encapsulated the whole weekend. I actually picked a winner. And it wasn't lucky because I think probably Man United deserved to win. We did say at the time, we fancied the Man United team total, but I thought if they score 2, they win. That was my handicap. And then did you take the Man United team total? So the fucking 1-0 was just there. It was just obvious. So I got away with that one and you didn't. And then I'm sure there was other games. The comments is already chock full of like frustrated sort of hard luck stories. It was a frustrating weekend. I thought it was hard to get any momentum going on the picks. There was 5 both teams to score. Yes, 5 both teams to score. No, there was only 3 games went over 2.5. And that kind of especially the way we play. Not that many people are playing the unders. I picked up an under in Forest Liverpool, but most people are playing the overs. West Ham Bournemouth was a great example where it was just
both teams to score twice. That was my worst pick of the week.
Yeah. Oh, that could go on the list. Shit. Where's Harry? Is that worse? It's not as bad as Harry's Finland pick. But both teams to score twice when both teams managed to score no times. Yeah, that's I forgot about that, Baz. That's cheering me up. Dave did pick Man United. I've fucking fallen out with Dave. We've had a right Barney today, me and Dave. We're not speaking. Whether or not we can repair the relationship, I don't know, because it took a proper turn this afternoon. But yeah, West Ham Bournemouth, who just goals, a bit like Real Madrid Benfica last week, where you just wouldn't come off. So like I say, 3 over. So it was hard when you're looking for goals, Accas, things like that. It was 5 favourites won. So maybe that was the angle in. Obviously, the shorties, Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, Man United won tonight. Not that short. Chelsea have let everyone down in all kinds of different categories. So yeah, we'll get onto that. All our podcasts and picks and everything else are in the SGPN app, which is in the App Store. Very easy to access. So get into there. I will say hello to the people who have joined us from the bottom up. Callum, squad number 9 is in. James Mafia, welcome along. Joe Dollar, solid Arsenal win. We'll get onto that in a little bit. Lee Smith, squad number 7 here. Danny Midler was in as well. Fefwef, welcome along. I saw John Cullifay earlier on. John, we know what you did. John, you know what? We're not going to discuss what John knows what he did. We know what John did. What I'm going to do, Barry, is I'm going to award John squad number 23, which is, I mean, it's not 7, 9, or 10. However, 23 is like a mythical, it's a magical squad number, isn't it? It's David Beckham, it's Shola Amiobi. So they're like all the great players had 23. Was that basketball man number 23?
Michael Jordan was a 23.
That's it. Yes. Well, that's endeared myself to our friends across the pond. That basketball man. So John Cullifay, squad number 23, has been awarded and shall never be awarded to anyone else. We got you. People have noticed that I've had a little shave. I had 2 arguments with my shaver this week. And Friday night, I think we've discussed this before, the one hair that grows out of this left eyebrow in a straight line, it's like a fucking scaffolding pole. Yeah, you could swing on it, Barry.
I'll get one from your right eyebrow.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
So I tried to get it the other night. I couldn't get it. I've ended up shaving off half my eyebrow, which you can't really see it. However, I was getting a bit annoyed on... everyone's just a bit itchy, when your beard gets a bit itchy. So I did that classic sort of sitcom movie montage thing of trying to level it up. And I just did this all the way up. I just kept lopsiding it until it was entirely gone. And it looks fucking awful. It looks better now than on Friday night and Saturday, mate. Honestly. Face just like blancmange, pink, wobbly, fucking old blancmange. Enough. There's even just 48 hours growth has taken the harsh edge off. But Betty's exact words, this was nice from your 16-year-old daughter. She said, "You just look desperate to touch kids." It's fucking lovely, that. Desperate. Desperate's the key word in that sentence. That's such a beautifully put together sentence. You look desperate to touch kids. So yeah, but I hated it. And I had to go out to work on Saturday night. And when you don't feel good, you're not yourself, because I had a gloomy hair, I looked awful. So anyway, I'll not make that mistake again. So yeah, Daddy's saying I'm looking younger. Don't get close up. It's fucking terrifying anyway. So that's not good. Baz, has prom dress shopping been a feature in your house yet?
Yep.
How painful / expensive was it? I'm just laughing at Joe's dollars comment. It's a bit Route 1, Joe, but there you go. Do you want to talk us through it? Because I haven't enjoyed it this weekend because it had nothing to do with me, obviously. I can't imagine you had much direct influence on it.
I'm the same.
It certainly affected the mood of the household, Barry. Can you talk us through your experience? Is this ongoing or? I'm
not sure. Again, because I don't really get involved.
Yeah.
But I know there's discussions, and I try and keep out of them because I'll get angry. It's a sort of thing that'll get me really angry when prices are mentioned. However, on a plus side, my Chloe has been directed towards 2 grandmothers. And money has come forward from 2 grandmothers to contribute towards a prom dress. So I'm getting off with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not one to get angry about it. I would just say yes. I'm so anything to keep the peace. You know what I mean? But it is an incredible amount of money. When he went out on Saturday, came back in, went straight up the stairs in a foul mood, and then I had to go out to work 3 hours later, and I still never seen her. Went out again on Sunday with the same result. The atmosphere is been thick tonight. So the way I look at it, I think you can probably get about half the money back, by selling it immediately. So, it's a frightening amount of money. Callum's on there. We just got a little bit higher. Callum, we've got about 500 quid is what she wants to spend. I'm thinking, right, okay, get half of it back is 250. And then, she won 100 quid on the premium bonds that she doesn't know about. That's clearly present grandma. Grandma keeps the premium bond thing going. And she doesn't know about that. So right, okay, you contribute that. I'll contribute a bit. Go and snaffle 50 quid out of grandma's purse tomorrow, and we'll see. But yeah, it's been a tense time. Picks wise,
then you're gonna have to pay for spray tans, hair, makeup, transport.
I think that happens anyway, though, doesn't it? That's just standard teenage girl maintenance, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll go through the roof,
I mean, I don't mind American culture, Barry. I think it's a good idea. That's a good joke. Who said that? Was that fucking Oscar Wilde or someone? No, I'll tell you who it was. It was fucking Gandhi, Oscar Wilde. It was Gandhi. I think just before he said about the early kickoff, he said, someone asked him, what do you think of British culture? And he said, I think it's a good idea. So I don't mind the American things. That's why part of the reason we work on this network. But the introduction of the prom is something we absolutely could have done without, I think, in this country. Just go to the park. Or if you want to go to the park, they used to we'd go to Jesmond Road or Osborne Road to a hotel, go to that Britannia Hotel, disco, full of cider, get fingered, or finger someone, whichever way. It's 2025, 2026, actually. Do what you want. and that's it. Everyone will be fine. And it didn't cost anyone 500 quid, Baz. So we'll work that out. Picks. Man United helped me out tonight by getting there. It was a fucking dog shit game. It was like a documentary on corners. Every time I was like, Everton had 300 corners. And the worst crowd scenes you've ever. It was just pathetic. It was literally like watching a Netflix documentary on corners, like a pop art piece. So Man United won, which left me on 3-1-5. I got a push in the Newcastle game. So I made it back to about 7 units. João Pedro scored, which helped out a little bit. But that was Saturday. I thought was generally rubbish. I lost the 4 early games, and then Newcastle Man City pushed at -1. I fell into the Villa trap again. That's 3 times. Me done now.
I told you.
You're right. It's like Beetlejuice. I've done it 3 times. I can't do it again. You came out on the other side of that. Chelsea are fucking useless. They're the ones. And the home favourites on top of Villa, Brentford was no good. Sunday was a bit better. Sunderland, Fulham. I took over 2.5 for both teams to score one or the other, which won. Both teams to score 4-5. I did the comedy on that game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The last 10 minutes after Fulham scored the 3rd goal was my favourite 10 minutes in this new job, where I just got as many subtle Sunderland digs in as I could. I'm sure that people of West Africa had no idea about the jokes I was cracking, but I properly enjoyed myself. It was a one-man laughing at your own joke situation. Palace Wolves, fuck me, chin to everybody. Take the Wolves double chance, missed penalty, red card, injury time winner. I mean, 3 ways of somehow not cashing that double chance. That would have got me back to SP, really. That was the worst beat of the weekend without Forest Liverpool was a good win on the unders, because there were 3 very similar games, actually. The 1-0s, Palace Wolves, Forest Liverpool, and then Manchester United tonight, which were just all a little bit dog shit, Baz. So, had better weekends. I did think it was difficult. I don't think so many people around. You can correct us if I'm wrong, anyone listening, but there wouldn't have been many people picked out too many winners this weekend, I don't think, Baz.
No, it was a tricky weekend. I mean, I had 4 winners, and I would say, looking at them, though, you know how you rank yours in order?
I did once, yeah.
My 4 winners would have probably been ranked 7, 8, 9, and 10, I think, because
the
teams that I did fancy and the ones I did like didn't come in. But I faded Villa. I took the double chance on Villa. City to win and over 2.5 was my way of playing the Newcastle. When Newcastle would get beat, it was just how you managed to cobble a winner out of that. And I managed to find the way with City and over 2.5 goals. Sunderland, Fulham overs was easy enough. And then I took them both to score in the Arsenal game, which despite Spurs being absolute garbage, they managed to chuck a goal in there pretty quickly after the Arsenal goal. So that was good. Talking of bad beats and talking about the Wolves in particular, Stake and Stilton Amalgam. I had Villa Leeds draw on the Saturday. I was waiting for the Palace game to draw and the Forest game to draw. Two injury time goals knocked me out of my 45-1 Stake and Stilton. So with 5 minutes to go,
2 and not 1. At least it was 2 and not 1.
Yeah. Well, I would have been worse if one of them
had held power. You'd have won, Baz. The 90-minute payout.
Yeah. So
claim that.
Yeah, I was looking good late in the day. I was looking very good for a Stake and Stilton, and got undone at the end.
We'll get on to the eye catchers because we're going to mention a lot of those teams. Andy Williams is here. Andy, not seen Andy for a couple of weeks. Must have been busy. Okay, yeah, we'll have a look at the eye catchers. I'll tell you first about Kalshi, the real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Loads of trading options for your favourite sports. A ton of other markets, including politics, entertainment, and even the weather. You can trade anything on Kalshi. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And Rhythm has been on a heater for college and NBA picks. Really easy to sign up, run predictions off the house model, or make your own and play with the sliders. If you're looking to go premium, the promo code is SGPN when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. I'm not even going to mention referee decisions, because what's the point? No one knows. We could talk about it till we're blue in the face, and they're just all bollocks. VAR's bollocks, referees were bollocks. They affect the games. They've just absolutely ruined it. Arsenal, I think, are the first eye catcher in that they held their nerve very well yesterday. It was obviously a tricky assignment, having blobbed a lead at Brentford, having blobbed a lead at Wolves, to then go to Tottenham in that local derby. Now, Tottenham helped by being an absolute fucking pony, by the way. It's still irrelevant. I mean, Tottenham couldn't have done any worse, or couldn't have been any worse than Wolves. There was a couple of little bits when Tottenham's way. The Gabriel ghost push from Kolo Muani. And then Richarlison nearly got them back into it. Mariah cleared that one off the line. But largely, Arsenal twatted them. Arsenal, the first 20 minutes was an absolute no contest. So, yeah, that was a good win for Arsenal. Tottenham, conversely, and now only 4 points above West Ham. They are right in the shit. Seen some little clips on tonight of Mickey van der Ven just ignoring Tudor. We talked about Tudor likes this high line. This is his thing. And you can see Tudor stood there shouting at him. Mickey looks at him. I'm saying Mickey like I know him. Van der Ven looks at him and he's like, get yourself up 20 yards. And Van der Ven just fucking ignores him. Ward just refuses to take instruction. Strange things are afoot at Tottenham. Have been all season. We've seen that all year with them arguing with the fans, with them. Who were they ignoring? Who just got sacked? Whoever it was, Thomas Frank, they were ignoring him when they walked off the pitch.
I'm sure there was a similar clip came out of Van der Ven being one of them, wasn't it? Where they just walked past him.
It was him. Yeah, it was. Yeah, him with Thomas Frank. 9-2 to go down now, Tottenham, plus 450. You imagine it would be fucking great. I mean, Leeds have been brilliant, giving themselves a right good chance. Forest weren't brilliant, but were unfortunate yesterday. West Ham are having a go. Christ, even Burnley are having a go. It's a little bit late, Burnley. If Burnley had 6 more points to this time, then they could give themselves a chance as well. So, yeah, that'll come out in the wash, we'll see. Chelsea, fucking useless. Another red card. 400th red card of the season. And people have sort of used that red card as the sticking point for why Chelsea didn't go out and win. But they're playing Burnley. They were 1-0 up after 90 seconds or whatever it was. And that red card wasn't until the 74th minute. Chelsea was sleepwalking into that draw even before the red card. So you can't blame the red card at all. Cole Palmer is just way out of form. Someone missed an assignment for Chelsea. Did you see any of that? You haven't laughed at that, so you clearly haven't seen it, Baz. I was going to open with a "have you missed an assignment" joke, but it clearly would have been wasted. Liam Rosenior's post-match press conference from the for the equalising goal, Barry, a defender missed an assignment. So, I know, it makes your teeth itch a little bit, doesn't it? He didn't mark up is what happened. But yeah, he refused to take him out, but he said a defensive assignment was missed by somebody, the bell end. He does it LinkedIn chat, and he likes his LinkedIn chat, as Rosenior. But that was so 73 minutes. They'd not added to a 1-goal lead. It's home to Burnley. So I'm not having it. And Liverpool, fucking hell. That was unbearable.
Yeah.
That was horrible, wasn't it? Oh, my God. Unbearable. I was doing the Sunderland-Fulham game, which was, fucking hell, how interminably long is football, by the way? 9 minutes added time in the first half. 7 minutes added time in the second half. So that game lasted 106 minutes with whatever half-time is now. When half-time used to be 10 minutes, it's now about 7.
The Liverpool game, yeah.
No, I'm doing... this was Sunderland-Fulham.
Yeah.
So I'm watching on the telly, but I've got the little Bet365 page open and it goes suspended and then comes up VAR. So I put the Liverpool game on. So I'm making the commentary up on Sunderland Fulham at this point. I'm just sitting there going, Bassey, square to Anderson. Anderson back to the goalkeeper. Rolls it back out to Bassey. Just absolutely making it up, right? So I can see what's happening in the Liverpool match. So I see the goal get disallowed. I punch there. I put Fulham back on. Hoping nothing's happened, and it hasn't. Then 30 seconds later, it goes fucking suspended again, and I see the VAR. So I had to turn over again. So for another 2 minutes, I'm then going, Bassi, infield to Sessegnon, back to, but like, it could have been 3-3. Sunderland might have mounted the best fight back in the history of the Premier League, and I messed it up because I'm trying to watch the VARs, and I still haven't unpacked the VAR stuff. I just couldn't be asked anymore to check whether any of it was correct or incorrect, because it doesn't matter. It was the same with the Newcastle stuff on Saturday, and anything else for that matter. I just didn't have it in me to unpack it, Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, the Newcastle one, I know people are moaning about various things in there, about Burn being pushed into an offside position, Burn being steamrolled by Bernardo Silva. And ordinarily, in an ordinary situation, I'd have probably cared more. But as we said last week, it didn't matter what happened in that game.
No, it didn't matter.
We would lose anyway. So I think that's why I really just didn't give a fuck. So that was true. I mean, go back to Liverpool. Liverpool are poor again. Like, Liverpool are going to still be on the fade list for me. They're not very good. And they made very hot. I mean, it was totally against the run of play for them to go and nick that. As I say, who knows if he's onside or offside, because all they've shown us is a cartoon image, which doesn't reflect any of the other imagery that you can actually, you know.
How can you see the other bloke's leg through this bloke's leg? And then how does the cartoon man, how does Walt Disney know where his leg is? It was like Ola Aina, isn't it?
This is the bit I was getting on Twitter. Like, they must have better angles than what we get shown on the TV. So why not just show us that and then get rid of the, you know, maybe they had something behind Aina which could show where his foot was. But at the minute, you just show a picture that shows someone looking ridiculously offside, and then you just show a cartoon image which says, "Nah, he's fine, crack on." The other thing that didn't really get talked about was, I think Atletico interfered with play because he was so close to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he stopped the defender.
The defender, like, from making a challenge, and that bit didn't even get talked about, which was bizarre. Joe mentioned the chat about Gabriel taking a dive as well. I mean, that was a terrible disallowed goal, and it wouldn't be if they just gave them every week, but they don't. Spurs themselves had Ekitike score one of those on them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
pushing the back. I remember Yoro had a really blatant one for Man United. There's been loads of instances. Newcastle have scored from these in various situations.
Yeah, Voldemort did it this year, and then obviously Joe Linton 3 years
It's
ago.
either a foul or it isn't, but it can't be a foul one week and not the next. And it was just a ridiculous one to give. Like,
obviously, that's not a VAR thing. That's just a referee thing. And I watched that. I was watching that live, and as it came in, I just saw the foul. I saw what the ref saw, and it made me. It's not even a referee thing. Like I've said before, it might even be a player thing. Like, the player's fucking cheated. The player's conned him, hasn't he? Because I saw it. I saw the cross come in, and like Bob went up. I was like, that's a foul. And then the referee was a little bit delayed and gave it. But I just saw what looked like a foul. I saw everything. I saw the rhythm of a foul. Like, so who sang that? Rhythm of the Night? Was that? Who was it? Come on, readers.
Oh, man.
Is the rhythm of the night?
Should know that.
Snap. Was it Snap?
Snaps it
out. Was it? Fucking 2 points. Well, that was the rhythm of a foul. Just because cross came in.
Oh no, that's Rhythm is a Dancer. Is that the same one?
Oh, rhythm. The rhythm is good. Get Glory Estefan. The rhythm. This is good, isn't it? Lost your mind, Baz. What are we talking about? Anyway, who fucking cares? Foul, not foul. No one gives a shit. Should we make some Champions League picks?
Corona is the answer.
Oh, was it? Did you search it up? You never gave the readers a chance. They'd all been all over that. Bleeding.
I'm sure I had something else I was going to bring up, but I can't be asked. So, fuck it.
K-class Andy Williams reckons.
Nah, it was Corona.
The saxophone man was at that wedding on Saturday night when I was working. My least favourite of all the forms of wedding entertainment is the man who plays the saxophone over the... Sorry?
Worse than bagpipes.
The bagpipes aren't on all fucking night.
No, but I've got no time for bagpipes.
Like, as you walk in, the bloke's knocking out fucking
Old
Flower of Scotland or something, or the Gay Gordons. The saxophone man's just unbearable, like. So it's a perfectly good record. They're playing Rhythm as a Dancer. Do you know there's a reason why it hasn't got saxophone over the original? It's because it's shit, or it would be on. That's how music works. Like, Money for Old wrote that bloke. I hate it. It really makes my heart sink when I see him turn up with his case.
I don't disagree with you. I always say this about Sam Fender, how he has to shoehourn a saxophone in to every single song because
that's in the song. That's in his own song.
A saxophone player, I know, but it doesn't need it in every song. You don't need a saxophone in every single tune.
That's not as bad as forcing saxophone over an existing tune when I'm stood 20 yards away trying to deal roulette.
Anyway, we're 27 minutes in. Yeah, we need to crack on.
Bloke spilled a full pint of IPA on my roulette layout, by the way. No. And worse than that, the fucking lesbian spilled gravy all over my table. I mean, hot beef sandwiches, gravy and chips. She comes booling over, hey, like that. Just fucking launches half a litre of Bisto all over the layout. Irate, Barry, not happy one little bit. Right. We make some picks here, Baz. These people have got money to make. We've got prom dresses to pay for, Baz. Underdog has got you covered for picking in almost every sport. Getting on Underdog, win up to 5,000 times your money. Brand new offer. Customers play $5. Get $75 in bonus funds. The sign-up code is SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you're getting the best prices. Download the Novig app, get $50 when you spend $5. The promo code is SGPN. Getting on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Okay. She had trousers on, Danny. It's the only possible explanation. Stop laughing. Tuesday night Champions League is... Oh, shit. Club Brugge, early kickoff. Atletico Madrid take on Club Brugge at 5:45, 12:45 Eastern time. I struggled a little bit with these games. It wasn't very straightforward. Had to work hard. Atletico Madrid are 2-5, minus 250. 9-2 the draw, plus 450. Bruges have been nipped in a little bit. They were 6-1, they're now 11-2, plus 550. This one was 3-3 in the first leg. It was a bit of a weird one. Atletico had a couple of goals lead on 2 occasions. Bruges fought back. To qualify, Atletico are minus 500, 1-5, with Bruges at 100-30, plus 333. 3 Champions League games in a row now without a win for Atletico. All similar levels of opposition, I would suggest. Galatasaray, Bodo, Glimt, and Club Brugge are a very similar level of opposition to Club Brugge. But they have been reliable at home. The 3 home games before the defeat to Bodo Glimt, they won 5-1, they won 3-1, they won 2-1. So all 4 were both teams to score over 2.5. But just like last week, the domestic form flies in the face of that. 5 out of their last 6 have been both teams to score no. The home form's strong. It's really hard to get away from the home form. 1-11, drawn 1 and lost 1 in the league. 7 of those 11, they covered the handicap. Bruges are lively. They haven't got too much quality, but they're very competitive. The away form, and this is questionable. They lost the first 3 away games. The only game they won was in Almaty, who were the whipping boys of this competition. There's been tons of goals in their game. The prices were horrible. I had to put together something to reflect the lively nature of this game, Barry. I think Atletico will win. The home form is pretty bulletproof. And I've tagged on the over 24.5 shots. So we go to the bet builder market. Stop laughing, you knob. Atletico to win over 24.5 match shots, because it's going to be wide open. 19-20, minus 105. But
you're right. It's going to be wide open, but there's easier ways of playing it. I've actually
there might be. Yeah,
you found it really difficult, but actually, the first line of mine is saying I found this one straightforward. Just in terms of getting a pick, it doesn't mean I've got a winning pick. I just got to a pick quite quickly. I took Bruges last week. I think we both took Bruges, didn't we? Double chance market for me.
Lucky winner.
And mainly due to Atletico's form in this competition, where no clean sheets, now in 9 games without a single clean sheet in this competition. 8 of Atletico's 9 games saw both teams to score. 8 of the 9 went over 2.5, and 7 of 9 hit both of those. And I just thought there's plenty of goals all over the Atletico form. They're not like keeping many teams out, certainly in this. The 3-3 scoreline last week wasn't a huge shock because of how they've played in this competition. They followed that up with another 6-goal game at the weekend, beating Espanyol 4-2 as well. I agree with you. I think Atletico will probably get through it. Their home form's certainly better than the away form in this competition. So I do think they'll likely come through it. But I think Brugge can be taken for a goal again. So I went to the both teams to score and over 2.5 this time. I'm taking Brugge to be competitive. They've got enough goals in them. They'll get one here. 5-6. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals.
5-4 Solis. 2 shots on target at 11-4. 5 in his last 3 Champions League games. So a nice little angle in there from him. The evening kickoffs on Tuesday start with Bayer Leverkusen and Olympiacos. These are 8 p.m, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Leverkusen have drifted a little bit here. They're now 4-5, minus 125. The draw has shortened up to 29-10, plus 290. And Olympiacos are in to 31-10, plus 310. So a little bit of money for the visitors here, Baz. This was the one that really let us down really let me down last week. I fancied Olympiacos to get involved, particularly at home, and they just didn't. To qualify, Leverkusen are 1-33. They won the first leg 2-0, so minus 3,300. Olympiacos are 14-1 to make it out of this tie, Barry.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't let me down because I took the unders. So I picked a winner from this one. But 2-0 to Leverkusen suggests it might be done and dusted. So yeah, I took the unders last week. And actually, I don't mind the same pick again here. It's not where I've ended up, but I wouldn't discourage anyone from taking the unders. 3 of the last 4 in all competitions for Leverkusen have went under 2.5. What stands out more was the Olympiacos form. 10 of their last 12 games in all competitions have gone under 2.5 goals. And the both teams to score nose, hitting 5 in a row for Olympiacos as well. The state of the tie, 2-0 could potentially play into that as well, with Leverkusen not needing to go all out here at home. And the only thing that really swayed me away from it was the home form in this competition for Leverkusen. 3 of their 4 went over 2.5 out of their home games. So I don't mind the owners, but in the end, the owners plus money as well, 6-5 is a decent price. In the end, I was just a little bit surprised Leverkusen were as big as they were. I thought they'd be a little bit short. I know they don't have to win, but I thought 4-5 was a very fair price. Leverkusen will win this 1-0 or 2-0, but I'll just take Leverkusen to win 4-5.
So that's my pick as well, Barry. So the little drift, I don't mind actually. A little bit more juice in there. Leverkusen have won 4 of the last 6 Champions League games. In some, they've kept a clean sheet in all 4 of those, which I find just hard to compute because we watched them with Newcastle. And Newcastle could have scored 10 times. We scored twice at the post a million times. But Leverkusen they've come out with 4 clean sheets. That butts up against the fact that we like the Premier League teams in this competition and everyone else has been shy. They do beat weaker teams at home. That's their thing. Teams 7th and below in the Bundesliga, Leverkusen have won 7 and drawn 1 of their 8 games with 6 clean sheets. That's really solid form. It's pretty steady. Strong data. Olympiacos beat Leverkusen 2-0 on match day 7. Had scored 6 in a row before that. So kind of the trends and everything, like I say, we're butting up against each other. I think the safest play is just Leverkusen to win. Like I sort of ended up going off on various tangents before coming all the way back to square one, which was just a Leverkusen moneyline play. Home form against middling teams, which is what Olympiacos are. So, yeah, team right on Bayer Leverkusen, Baz. Normally have the... is the Ray good a Champions League edition or you're not bothered?
Anytime, minute.
Anytime, Baz. Inter Milan take on Bodo Glimt at 8 o'clock. Inter Milan are 1-5, minus 500. The draw 6-1. Bodo Glimt are 10-1. In fact, Inter 9-1. So a little bit of money for the visitors. This is the one that's set up tightest in terms of qualification. Bodo Glimt lead 3-1 from the first leg. Inter are 4-5, -125 to qualify. Bodo Glimt are 19-20, -105. So this was my commentary game last week. Really enjoyed it. Pretty strong visual that I was left with was that Inter looked flaky and that Bodo Glimt will have a right go at this. Inter have now lost 4 in the Champions League. So the last 4. What did they lose? I fucking lost it. 4 of the last 5, maybe. You'd say the first 4 were against better opposition than this, but then you add in this first leg. They're absolutely flying in Serie A. It's really weird. They've won 10 of 13 at home. 6 of those on the handicap, which is what they'd have to do here. But Bodo Glimt, 3 Champions League wins in a row. This is the only competition they're playing in currently, by the way. They're out of season. So they've beaten Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, and Inter Milan. And I don't think you can attribute 3 wins like that all to good luck. Anyone can fluke a win here and there. But they're 3 really good wins. And like I say, I watched them. They were decent. The result before that was a 2-2 in Dortmund. So that's another big tick. You know what I mean? This shit's not happening by accident. I think they've got a goal in them. In fact, the last 5 Champions League games, they've scored 2-3, 2-2-3. So possibly got more than 1 goal in them. I like Bodo Glimt to qualify at 19-20, -105. But I don't want to end up looking foolish or getting chinned in extra time or penalties if they get done by 2. So I'm going to take the same players last week, which hit really, really easily, which is the both teams to score over 2.5 at 4-5, -125. But
I thought you were going to go the same way as me there, but close. Anyway, it's a big one, this one, for Inter. Obviously, massively up against it. Coming into a home game. Teams don't often overturn a 2-goal deficit in this competition. I think it's 7 years since anyone last overcame a 2-goal first leg deficit. And there's just nothing in the form to suggest Inter are going to find this any easier. Bodo, you've just mentioned the run of games. They've beaten Inter, Atletico, and Man City. They've got a draw against Dortmund as well. So they've come away with 3 wins and a draw from 4 really, really tough games and scored 10 goals in those games as well. I think what's helped them is whilst everyone else in Europe's playing 2 games every single week, Bodo just have to turn up for the Champions League every now and then. So since
Barry frozen for anybody else, or is he just frozen for me? Get someone in the chat just kind of help. Oh, hang on, he's back. Are you back there, bud? No, he's moved. I don't know what's going on here. Someone in the chat tell me something about this. That seems to be working. I seem to be working. Barry appears not to be working. He's going to have to do some editing when the time comes. Barry has frozen.
Can you get me?
What the fuck's going on, Barry? What's happened there? I don't know what Barry's doing. And the lights just got off, which it can't be the 11 o'clock light because it's not 11 o'clock. It's 14 minutes past 11, unless he's frozen in time so much that he's back. We'll get back to Barry's Inter Milan Bodo Glimt pick if he decides to join us. His lights are on. Baz, what's going on?
Am I back? Am I in?
You're in. Oh, you're in, Barry. Oh, fucking hell. He's just knocked himself out. Sorry, everyone. This is an absolute fiasco. He's winding me up, isn't he? I'll give him 3 seconds. He is going to have to edit this out. I'll give you my pick on the Newcastle game. It is a fucking dog shit pick, by the way. I didn't like this at all. Is he back? John's saying he's back. He's not back. Oh, my God. Newcastle take on Qarabag. Newcastle 1-9, -900. The draw 9-1. Qarabag 18-1. This is Newcastle's 150th appearance. in European or international competition. 7th English team to make it to 150 appearances. Pipping Leeds by 1. Leeds been on 149 since 2002. And we've overtook them and got in there to 151st. The first leg, I've had a message off Barry which says, laptop malfunction, back in a minute. I've got a new phone which I've just had to set up tonight. And you all know me well enough that me setting up a new phone has not been a straightforward process. Luckily, me one password for everything method has managed to get me into Greg's in the Garden Centre app, which were the most important. Mismatch last week, 5-0 at half-time. Coming off the 6-0 defeat at Liverpool for Qarabag, kind of gives you a pretty solid form line. I'm not really sure how Newcastle will approach it. It's difficult. Joe was asking earlier on if me and Baz are going to be playing up front, which is possible. I've seen Wisser back from injury and Botman, so they both might get a run out. But I don't know how many changes we can make. It's not like we've got a whole another 11 that can sit and come on. So it won't be too many changes. Qarabag have run out of steam in this competition, particularly against the top sides. And I think they'll have a go. They're not just going to turn up and phone it in because it's just not in their nature at all. How they're playing is an absolute source of national pride. This is the biggest journey anyone from that part of the world's been on. So they're going to turn up and have a right good go. This is a really weird pick. My pick for this game, it's a difficult one. Over 2.5 Qarabag shots on target at even money. They had 2 in the first leg. This is just going to be an odd game. And before the Liverpool game, Qarabag did have 5-6, 4-4, 3-3, 6-5. So they got 8 in a row before that. So I think they'll have a go. Newcastle might just be a little bit sloppy, a bit off the case. And over 2.5 shots, it's going to be way down the list of anyone betting, even a handicap or whatever. No one knows. If you want to try a handicap or a team total, good luck. But we could be driving home this time tomorrow having won 1-0 or whatever. So we've got no idea. And Barry, do you want to explain yourself? What's going on there, Baz? Did the aliens get you?
Fucking some sort of computer malfunction. My computer just...
Then you turned dark as well. Was that the 11 o'clock light?
Turned dark. The light has remained on the whole time, but for some reason, I thought I was coming back, and then it glitched again, and I wasn't actually sat here in the dark. The 11 o'clock light's been fixed. I've made sure that
I was quite enjoying the 11 o'clock light while it lasted.
Yeah, but I've had to restart my computer. It's American technology, isn't it?
The other problem we've got now, Barry, is because you disappeared, by default, my face went bigger on the screen. Oof. And everyone's now started taking the piss out my eyebrow and the rest of my face.
That big fucking beard gone, so that's all right.
Yeah. Right, you need to finish off into Bodo Glimt quickly,
very quickly,
and then do Newcastle.
So yeah, the point I was getting to, I think the 2-goal deficit's going to be massive for United to overcome. In 11 Champions League games, if you include the qualifiers for Bodo Glimt, only one team's beaten Bodo by 2 goals all season in this competition. Galatasaray beat them 3-1, but they've been competitive week in, week out, and I don't see why they won't be here. Inter struggling in this competition, won only 1 of their last 5. I thought Bodo can get a goal, and I think that'll be enough to put them through. Like you, I thought Bodo to qualify appealed at 19-20, but I've got that a slightly safer play. I'm taking Bodo +2 on the Asian handicap. So like you say, if it goes to extra time, then at least I'm getting a push. So Bodo +2 on the Asian handicaps, 4-5. What's that? -1.
-125. Yeah, Joe shouted that pick out as well. I like it.
Yeah, so that was my way of just covering that extra time angle. To be honest, I wouldn't surprise me. I think Bodo will qualify in normal time. I think they'll keep it close.
Okay, Newcastle Qarabag, Baz?
Yeah, tricky one to handicap just because of that 5-goal deficit, really. I'd expect Newcastle will have a weakened team. It's not going to be completely weak because we've only got so many people we can rely on at the moment. But I just see it being a bit of a letdown spot. And I wouldn't want to, like you mentioned, I wouldn't want to be taking Newcastle in handicaps. I think the atmosphere will probably be a little bit flat because how do you get a crowd up for it when we're already 6-1 up? So I didn't want Newcastle in handicaps or anything like that. I'd rather have a little go on Qarabag. You've done the same. You've went for shots as your angle in. I just think the pressure will be off for them a little bit, and they can maybe play with a bit of freedom. And actually, we saw a bit of that in the second half. They came out much stronger. Once the game was dead, they had a go. They got a goal. Looked a lot better. And I think they can get a goal again. Newcastle have got no clean sheet in 9 games now in all competitions. So both teams to score was where I've landed. I think Qarabag will get a goal here. Newcastle won't care. Newcastle might win it 3-1, 2-1, something like that. But I don't want Newcastle in a handicap. I'll take both teams to score at 10-11.
Okay. Can I ask if you intend to edit out that 3 minutes of silliness? Or
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming you just coped with it smoothly and had
not really.
Really,
I flapped for quite a large portion of it before I got stuck into.
I mean, it will remain there forever in the YouTube video.
Oh yeah,
the podcast listeners may get away with it.
Okay, fair enough. Move on to Wednesday, Baz, with 13 minutes left here. We've absolutely talked some shit tonight. Wednesday, early kick-off. This is my commentary game this week in the Champions League. It is Atalanta and Borussia Dortmund. Atlanta have been nipped in tonight. We're 11-10. They're now even money. The draw's 14-5 plus 280. Dortmund have drifted a 10th of a point or a 20th of a point, a 5th of a point. Rachel Riley, 11-5 plus 240. Dortmund to qualify. Atlanta 4-1. Dortmund 1-6 minus 600. Dortmund 2-0 up from the first leg. 3 Champions League defeats in a row for Atalanta. Home v Bilbao at USG, and then the game at Dortmund. Not very good form, particularly. Have won 3 in a row in Serie A, which is a bit confusing. Had a good win yesterday against Napoli. Now, Dortmund didn't finish the Champions League stage very well, but that 2-0 win in Atalanta was a good performance, a good win. It's hard to ignore the Bundesliga form as well. Well, they've only lost once all season. They lost to Bayern on the 18th of October. That's it. 1 defeat all season. And I think I'm happy to put these Serie A teams in full fade. We've watched it regularly. It's already been commented on tonight by some people in the chat. Dortmund alive as a dog at 11-5 plus 220. But the safety net, 7-10, double chance market as well. I think Dortmund can easily avoid a defeat. That's what they've been doing all season long. So take your pick. Dortmund 7-10, minus 142, double chance. Or if you're feeling a bit fruity, stick them in as a dog at 11-5, Baz.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, Atlanta with it all to do here. And domestically, as you say, they're going fairly well. The home form's been great. They've won 6 in a row, including that win over Napoli at the weekend. They did tail off a bit in the later sort of match days of this competition. 3 defeats in a row now for them in the Champions League. Dortmund did have a similar drop-off. They only picked up 1 point from the last 3 games in the group. But they did still finish as one of the top scorers in the league stage. And goals is usually what I'm drawn to with Dortmund games. I did take them for 2 goals last week. Now, obviously, being 2-0 up might not help in terms of taking Dortmund for goals. But at the same time, Atlanta have got to come out and being a bit more aggressive. Dortmund might be able to exploit that. I did think both teams to score. Might have been my first sort of look, but 4-7, very, very short. So the bookies obviously are expecting both teams to score. They're expecting Dortmund to get 1. I think they can get 2 again. And it's a big price this week. It's 6-4 for Dortmund to get 2 goals. They've done this in 6 of their 9 Champions League games already. And a good comparison could be the last time they went out to Italy to play Juventus. Finished 4-4 early in the competition. So I'm going to take Dortmund team total again. Right back to the same pick as last week. Over 1.5 Dortmund goals. 6-4 plus 150.
All the different picks in the chat. Dortmund draw no bet for Danny, which was kind of my 2 plays. Atlanta money line for Fefref, complete contradiction. And Joe's got the Atlanta team total over 1.5 as well. So again, it's just a demonstration of how tricky it has been. The 8 o'clock kickoffs. Juventus take on Galatasaray. Juventus 2-1 on, minus 200. 19-5, the draw, plus 380. Is that 14-5? 19-5. 14-5. Galatasaray 9-2, plus 450 to win the tie. Juventus are 4-1. Galatasaray 1-6, minus 600. Galatasaray are 5-2 up after a nuts first leg. red card for Juventus, and then Galatasaray ran away with it. So Juventus have got to force this year 3-goal deficit. Baz, what you're telling me?
I think Juventus are stinking at the moment, aren't they? They've lost 4 of the last 5 in all competitions now, conceded 15 in those 5 games, and conceded at least 2 in each of them. So not going well in this or domestically. And I just thought you can't possibly take Juventus at this price, 1 to 2 or thereabouts for Juventus. And I think, particularly with a 3-goal deficit, because I don't think there's much hope for them there at all. I don't think there's much hope for a way back in, particularly if Galatasaray can get a goal in the first half. I think this game could go flat pretty quickly. And at these prices, I don't want Juventus. I'd much rather be on Galatasaray, even though they don't need a win. I just think Juventus might have given up by half-time. Galatasaray double chance for me is going to be the pick. I think, as I say, whether Juventus are still trying in the second half is questionable. 13-8 for the double chance on Galatasaray. And I don't mind the team total either. 2-1 for Galatasaray to score twice. Everybody seems to be putting 2 past Juventus at the moment. So I don't mind Galatasaray for a team total. It is a risk because they're far enough ahead that they don't need it. But I'd definitely rather be on Galatasaray at the prices.
They're 2 really brave bets, Bas, because I just came at this from a Juventus angle. Even though they are poor, they've been poor lately, I agree. But Galatasaray is so flaky on the road, and Juventus have to go for it, that I've had to factor them in. The Champions League form for Juventus was 3 consecutive wins in matchday 5, 6 and 7 against Bodo, Glimt, Paphos and Benfica. And then there's just a ton of middling form all around that. The Galatasaray form coming into this first leg was rubbish. They'd failed to score in 3 of 4. And then out of nowhere, knocking 5 goals. So it was a really confusing first leg. And that hasn't helped us with a pick here. No winning 3 domestically for Juventus. They lost at home to Como on Saturday. Now, they need to win by 3. So they've got to ensure that chaos is the name of the game here. There's loads of talk in the chat about cards and general bedlam. Red card in the match at 11-4 for Danny. Galatasaray, 2 cards. Over 2 cards at evens. Loads of options on the table, but what's non-negotiable for Juventus is the need for them to score goals. I'm going to take Juventus to score in both halves at evens. The rest of the chaos can be what is it. Galatasaray might knock them over 3-2, but Juventus have got to have a go. So Juventus to score in both halves at evens, and then the rest will come out in the wash. 8 o'clock. PSG are 2-7, minus 350 against Monaco, who are 8-1 with the draw at 11-10. PSG won the first leg 3-2, so any price you like here to qualify. I finally found a pick I like here, Baz. This was my first one that I really liked, and it is in the stats market. This was a really weird game. This was the early kickoff? I think I watched it. Monaco got 2-0 up, but they had absolutely no business being 2-0 up because they got they got spanked for 7 minutes and then scored. And then they got spanked for another 7 minutes and then scored. And then PSG were level in a heartbeat and winning in a heartbeat and could have scored 10 times. PSG had 30 shots that night. There was 37 match shots in the game. They do have some vulnerabilities, PSG. We saw it against Newcastle. Newcastle gave them a perfectly good game in Paris. Monaco will have to have a go, and that they might just help us out with my pick here. There's no real reason the game flow will be any different to the first leg here. It's not like PSG are going to try and park the bus or whatever. It's just going to be mayhem. The line is 27.5 shots. Like I say, that first leg had 37, and I don't know what changes that much. Over 27.5 shots, Baz, is 5-6. Minus 120.
Interesting. I thought this one still looked a decent fixture because it was one of the few ones that was potentially already over. 3-2 win for PSG in the first leg. Was aided a bit by a red card though, Malcolm, a lot of that, surely. You know, it
made no difference, mate. It was fucking chaos before that.
Might have influenced the total PSG shots, potentially.
No, mate, I watched the game. They had 1 million before the red card. They had about 16 in the first 10 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Anyway,
that's part of me pick. Like, it just the way the game looked, I don't know why this would be any different, because Monaco have to go for it. And I don't, Joe's saying the PSG will shut up shop, and that's not the way I see them going at all. I think they'll try and beat them 5-2 or something stupid.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the way I've gone. I think it'll be similar to last week. Monaco will have to have a good go here. And I thought we'd probably see another high-scoring one. And the recent form for both sides has seen plenty of goals. PSG have just seen 5 in a row go over 2.5. Monaco have seen 5 of their last 6 go over 3.5. They've scored 8 in their last 3 games alone, Monaco. So I think they will get a goal. I think PSG will come through it. I don't think they'll have it all their own way. The both teams to score once again is very short here. But tagging on the overs pushes it up a bit. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals for me at 4-5. It's a pick that's hitting 4 of the last 5 for Monaco. And in the Champions League, it's hitting 7 of the last 8 games for PSG as well. So both teams to score over 2.5 goals at 4-5.
Okay, we finish off with Real Madrid and Benfica. Real Madrid are 9-20, minus 222. 4-1 the draw. Benfica are 5-1. I didn't pick the prices up for Real to qualify, but they'll be plenty short enough, you'd imagine. Madrid 1-0 up from a chaotic first leg. Barry finishes off with a winner.
Madrid to qualify 1-16. That's not my pick. That's not my winner.
Is that your pick?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, this is one that'll have plenty of attention after the events of last week, as you say, chaotic. All the accusations of racism and all the silliness that went alongside it. I've seen they've taken a bizarre move of, despite they haven't reached any conclusions yet, they've just banned him anyway for one game, provisionally. I'm not
sure how that works.
It's a bit bizarre, isn't it? So basically, they've just taken him out of the equation so that there's no drama. Seems a little bit odd for me, that one. But anyway, yeah, Prestiani, who was the accused, has been given a 1-match provisional ban. I don't know what you do if Benfica get knocked out tomorrow and then you decide he didn't deserve to ban. Like, you can't undo that then, can you? But yeah, it's clearly UEFA just trying to make sure this isn't the main focus of the game. Mourinho's also suspended for this one after picking up a red card last week. And I can see being more chaos and more carnage here. I think Benfica are going to be properly fired up for it. And the only thing I could think was the cards angle. I think both sides have been so entrenched in their views about it over the last week. I mean, we saw an ill-tempered game between the two in the last round of the group stage anyway, before all of this kicked off. That game saw 8 yellow cards and 2 red cards. Last week, both teams picked up two yellow cards each, so we hit on 4. Whatever the outcome here, whether Madrid get away, I can see Benfica then going and kicking shit out of Madrid. If Benfica manage to get back into it, I can see plenty of ways it can get a little bit of aggro going. So over 5.5 cards is going to be my pick at 5-6. It is a big line. But as I say, we did see 10 in the game a few weeks ago. So over 5.5 cards is going to be my main pick. I then looked at a red card in the match. 5-2 for a red card in the match. Far too short. So I'm going to take both teams to get a red card. 33-1 for 2 red cards, 1 each. That's going to be my little outsider play here. It's all going to kick off.
I knew that would be an angle from somebody. If it wasn't you, then the chat. And it was the first thing everyone started talking about. It was the fairly obvious angle. I actually considered zagging where everyone was going to zig. So maybe the referee and the managers and the players might just act responsibly. But I ended up leaving it. There's no point being the smart ass for the sake of it. And there's going to be 9 yellow cards or whatever. That 1-0 result didn't reflect how open the game was. We talked about it being the bet builder game of the week for goals and Mbappe. Names that were already getting shouted out in the chat. Both teams to score, all sorts of things. And it didn't happen. But the game was wide open. In fact, the XG stats don't reflect how wide open it was either. Because I was going to shout them out to back me up. And actually, they didn't back me up at all. But I watched it with my eyeballs. So that's enough to back me up. So I don't mind Real Madrid as an Accas piece at 9-20. I think they're a great price if you want to stick them in with some other bits and bobs. They'll have too much for Benfica. They'll absolutely have too much for Benfica. They'll get all the help in the world off the officials and the VAR as well. This was like the Manchester City Newcastle game from the weekend. I looked at the Real minus 1.5, 23-20 plus 115, and then Real Madrid minus 1 -1.5 is evens. And I just think at the bare minimum, it's a Real Madrid 1-goal win. That's it. Like, I don't think that the worst case scenario is a push, like we did with Manchester City, Newcastle. Fefwef's giving us Benfica at 5-1. I just got me good luck. Do you know what I mean? If I hope you win some money, but I just can't see it at all. The bare minimum's that 1-goal win. So I'll take Real Madrid -1, -1.5. It's a little bit short of even. It's like -102 or something along them lines. We have managed to get 8 games in the Hutch Baz. I've got 2 little accumulators here. The first one, I've just said I don't mind Real Madrid as an accumulator in piece, and I put them in with Atletico. Take the 2 Madrid teams. That pays even money. I think Atletico Madrid will have too much for Club Brugge, and Real Madrid will win this. So even money for the 2 Madrid teams. And then a little treble. We wanted to fade these Italian teams. So all 3 Italian teams to go out. Atalanta and Juventus both have a mountain to climb. But I'm not sure that Inter can get past Bodo Glimt either. So if you take the other 3 to qualify, that's the way you'd have to do it. Take the other 3 to qualify. It pays 33-20 plus 165. So plus 165, we can get all 3 Italian teams out.
What's the price on Bodo Glimt to qualify?
19-20 -105.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are skinny. They're like 1-6 and 1-6. So he's taking 2 -600 shots in with the even money poke just to build it up a little. But I was just keeping it nice and tidy. Do you know what I mean? The 3 Italian teams to get toasted, Baz.
Done. So it only took us an hour and 3 minutes.
Took us an hour and 3 minutes. Well, you did go AWOL for a large portion of the show, Barry. But there you go. Right, okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to Newcastle tomorrow. God knows what to expect. Bit of a weird one. The kids have been arguing because before the first leg, she wanted to go Champions League, which meant he got Man City in the FA Cup. Now, obviously, after Tuesday night, she's now less thrilled about having to go to watch this dead rubber tomorrow. And he's buzzing about getting the Saturday night Man City in the FA Cup. But pay your money and take your choice. It was all done fair and square, like one of those things. But I've got Atlanta Dortmund and then some weird fucking Europa League game early on Thursday. Don't even know what's going on there. But looking forward to it. Anything you want to tell the people, Baz? Now, you probably want to go to bed, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to watch the end of the Irish Traitors, which is absolute dog shit. Have we discussed this yet on the show? No. It's like a 6th form production of the Traitors. Like they've put on a musical theatre. It's fucking terrible. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah, because the kids, the other people in the house love the Traitors. I don't mind the English version of it, to be fair, but
well, this is the same, but it's just got zero budget. Like they've rented out like an Airbnb somewhere. Like like they were burying them in coffins last week. And obviously in our version, it's all really beautiful. This was just some bits of like scaffolding board, like some old pallets nailed together. It was shit. There was clearly just some bloke over there with his overalls on. It just knocked these things up with a hammer in 6 nails. It's really bad. Right, let's go away.
We watched the Tourette's film tonight, the one that was in the news.
Oh, did you? Well, yeah. I watched the BAFTAs. It was like a car. I couldn't take me. I don't know anything about films. I don't watch them. I didn't know any of the people. But I have this thing that actors are so pleased with themselves. They're so into what they do. They think they're curing cancer or something when they're not. They're like the Winter Olympics people. They're just fucking about. That's all it is, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? Have a hobby. We've all got hobbies, Baz. But they treat it as if they're fucking changing the world. And it was unbearable. And I watched every minute of it because I couldn't turn it off. The Tourette's fella, the actor, his dad was the worst of the fucking lot. The amount of times I screamed at the telly, sit down, you cunt. The IT department and Betty were like, what's wrong with you? You're a right miserable bastard. What's the matter with you? They all wanted shot with shit, Baz. Before we go, Danny wants to know what you had for tea.
It wasn't anything exciting tonight. It was ramen with a few little gyoza, some kimchi and pork gyoza or whatever you call them. Yeah. Nice, easy. Just add some boiling water to the ramen and then frozen gyoza. You just chuck on the microwave for 2 minutes. It was a simple tea tonight.
Right, an hour and 6 minutes, and we've said nothing, Barry. No one's come out of this any better off than they were at 10:30 when we started. It was an entirely futile hour and 6 minutes. Right, enjoy the football. Hope you have a winner here and there.
It won't be futile when we get red card each in that Real Madrid game, 33-1.
Won't be, Baz. We'll be clipping it up and touting and everything. We'll be buying £1,000 prom dresses, both Willie and Nilly. We won't give a shit. Probably come back on Thursday for the Premier League, but have a look at the schedule, etc. Good luck. Have fun. We'll see you all down the road. Cheers.